Hey guys, welcome to week 2. I talked last week about ATS and everything that it's about and everything we can do to fix it. So this week we're going to go a little bit deeper into that, but I'm going to actually have some real fixes for y'all. If you're qualified for jobs but you're not hearing back, this video is for you. Because in most cases, the problem is not your experience. It just isn't. It's how your resume is being read by the ATS, the applicant tracking system. It's software that most Fortune 500 companies use. 98% in fact. So if you're trying to get a job at a big time place, just know they are going to be using it. But it's fixable. That's the good news. The good news is this is fixable. And you don't need to rewrite your entire resume to fix it. You don't need to change your career. We're going to go through right now what ATS actually does so we can get you back up to speed. And ATS doesn't judge you, okay? It doesn't have emotions like we do, and it's not an advanced AI system. It doesn't care what your career story is. It doesn't care where you came from. It simply compares your resume to the job description. That's basically it. That's the main thing that it does. If the match is weak, your resume is going to get filtered out, even if you're qualified, even if you're the most qualified. It does not matter. So everything we're going to talk to you about today is about alignment, not exaggeration. It's about getting that resume in the right format and getting it set up for success as far as the ATS is concerned. So you want to start with the job description. Before touching your resume, open the job description. Read it slowly. You're looking for repeated words and phrases. It's very key. Skills, tools, certifications, job titles, anything that shows up more than once. We want to take note of it because that means something. The repeated terms are what ATS is scanning for. It's looking for the repeated terms. If your resume doesn't reflect those words, the system assumes you're not the right fit, that you're not good for the job. It's as simple as that. It seems ridiculous, but it's just the way it is. So you want to clean up your formatting first. This part alone eliminates a lot of the ATS problems. Formatting. We're looking for keywords. It's really a big deal. It's really simple. Use one column, no graphics, no icons, no tables, no text boxes. ATS systems read resumes line by line, like a normal reading a book, up to down, left to right. Okay? They read resumes line by line. If your layout is complex, information gets skipped, it gets scrambled, you confuse it. And if your resume looks amazing, but it can't be read properly, it doesn't matter, right? That doesn't matter. So ATS systems expect standard section names, all right? So we're gonna go through right now, fixing the section headers. Very important, okay? Seems simple, but it's a big deal. They expect standard section names, like I said. Use simple headers like experience, skills, education, certifications. Creative section titles confuse parsing, okay? What that means is whenever the ATS is going through and it's taking your resume piece by piece, it's analyzing it. If you have something that it doesn't recognize it, it'll skip it. You're not being graded on originality here, okay? You're being graded on clarity. That's it. You need to align your job titles without lying. This is one of the most common mistakes I see. People use internal or creative job titles that don't match job posting. So basically what you're saying to the ATS is, I want this job. And the ATS is saying, well, that's not the job you're applying for, so obviously you're not the right fit. It won't even look further than that. That's it. If the posting says project manager, but your title was delivery lead, the ATS is not going to connect those two, okay? You're allowed to clarify. You can put the delivery lead, but make sure project manager is in the title, right? So that the ATS will know. This helps the system understand what you actually said and then did, okay? Very important. Skills need context. That's one of the last things I'll talk about. Listing skills is not enough. What did you do with these skills? They need to show up in your experience. ATS needs to be able to take the skills that you have and translate it to the job description, job title, okay? You need to show up in your experience bullets. For example, instead of just listing SQL, write, used SQL to analyze customer data and improve reporting. It gives context to the ATS, and it gives them keywords, and it helps boost your resume as far as the ATS is concerned. Context increases match score, 100%, very important. Okay, the text is inside an image, ATS can't read it. Remove what ATS can't read, guys. It's all about the tracking system here. All right. If it's inside a table, sometimes it can't read it either. So tables out, take them out. If you can't copy and paste text cleanly from your resume, that's a red flag. Flatten everything into normal text, nothing exotic. Okay. It's looking for plain text. And this is where most people get stuck. Most people don't fail because they're unqualified. We got to know this, guys. They fail because they don't know which changes actually matter. Okay? They tweak randomly, they guess. That's where tools like Smart ATS Resume help. All right, I'm here to talk to you the other day about Smart ATS Resume because there is something out there that can help you. All right? What Smart ATS does, I talked about it in my last video. It'll replicate a Fortune 500 ATS, okay? And then it will tell you, you upload your resume and it'll tell you exactly where you've gone wrong. It'll tell you what you need to do differently. Boom, bam, boom. In less than 10 minutes, you'll have a resume ready to go. By showing you exactly what the system is seeing. That's what Smart ATS is about, okay? Before you apply to your next job, make sure your resume isn't getting filtered out. Run it through Smart ATS Resume. It just takes a couple of minutes. It is free of charge to get your score. And if you want to go further with that, that's on you. But it is free of charge. You can get your score today. Go to smartatsresume.com. I'll put the link in the comments. And, y'all be sure to like and subscribe. I'm going to continue to do this weekly, sometimes more than once a week, really highlighting these ATSs. It's a big problem right now. People who are qualified aren't getting jobs. It's because they think that they need to go above and beyond. In fact, senior positions actually are more susceptible. I talked about it last week's video. They're more susceptible to getting rejected by ATS because of the variation in the resume. So we got to simplify, guys. We got to focus on that. Fix the issues. Apply with confidence. Get your application back in human hands. That's the tagline of Smart ATS. Beat the bots and land the job. Y'all have a great day, and I'll see you soon.
Take it from the resident smartass. Try Smart ATS today. Beat the bots. Land the job.